What's going on, people, and welcome back to a recap of Game Week 16 FPL Fantasy Premier League and look at Game Week 17, so a transfer I've made, and a few key players that you might have in your teams that have got suspensions that would be worth looking out for. As you can see, for Game Week 16, I had a horrendous week. 26 points, the average was 40, just dreadful week. Didn't get any luck really, and just a lot of my players bombed, as you can see. Flecken I went with in goal. Brentford lost to Sheffield United 1-0. Great goal by McAtee, but unfortunately I had Flecken. Got me free, but I mean it could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better also. I did think Brentford would still get a result despite Mbuemo out, but it just didn't happen. So Flecken got me free. Trippier -1, suspended until the 23rd of December now. So if you do have him in your team, it's a chance to bench him or get rid of him. I'll tell you what I've done with him in a minute for my Game Week 17 team, but yeah, just be mindful that he is suspended now until the 23rd of December. He got me a -1. See, Newcastle having a horrible time against Tottenham, and Son really destroyed Trippier one-on-one matchup. Played 85 minutes. Got a yellow card and conceded 4 goals, so not great. And he's been looking shaky the last 2 or 3 games, Trippier, so there's something to bear in mind with him. Anderson, they were on the losing side to Liverpool. I did say in my preview for this that I feel like there could be an upset. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but they did okay. It was only 2-1 to Liverpool, and it was a late winner. So Palace were in the game for the large majority of it, but ended up on the losing side. Conceded 2 goals, but played 90 minutes, but I didn't get anything for him in the end, so that was disappointing. Simicast got me 2. Ben White got me 2. Originally, I had him on the bench for this, but because of the Haaland missing out, he got put on as my first sub. And yeah, only got me 2 points, played 90 minutes, but obviously was on the losing side against Aston Villa. Foden, 2. 2-1 City winners against Luton in a narrow win. It played 90 minutes, got me 2 points, but I would have liked a lot more. Cole Palmer only got me a point. Played against Everton, but on the losing side. 2-0 loss. John McGinn I actually put in from the last game week, and like I did with Hwang, the first game week they're in, they did me marvellous. And he got me 9 points, McGinn. Scored the goal for Villa against Arsenal, and was the difference. So he got me 9 points, 2 bonus. Hwang Hee-Chang I had as my vice for this week because I like the fixture run-up against Forest, but they got a draw in the end. He didn't score. He played 90 minutes, but only got me 4 points. Saka, disappointing on the losing side against Villa. 2 points, that was all. And then Ollie Watkins up front on the winning side, but unfortunately didn't do a lot and only got me 2 points, so that was disappointing. And for my bench, as you can see, I had Neto again. It seems like whichever keeper I pick, the one on the bench does better most weeks. And again, the case in this against Manchester United away, 3-0 winners, 3 saves, got a clean sheet, played 90 minutes and got 7 points. So that was aggravating. Haaland obviously didn't play and messed a lot of us up for this game week. He was my captain as well, and obviously didn't even get in the squad. So that was disappointing. Darwin Núñez was my second sub. Played 73 minutes against Palace, didn't score, 2 points. I'm not surprised with Darwin. It is a volatile situation, I say every time with him. And then Matty Cash is my third sub, didn't do a lot anyway, played 24 minutes, only got a point. So 26 points is my total, average of 40 for that game week 16. Disappointing to say the least. Trippier is suspended till the 23rd of December now. It's the same case for Bruno Fernandes as well. Picked up a yellow card against Bournemouth and now he is out for the Liverpool game, which was hard enough anyway going to Anfield, let alone going without your captain now and your main playmaker in the team basically. One of your most important players is now not in the team for that vitally important game that was already backs against the wall. So if you've got Bruno Fernandes or Trippier in your team, you either need to put them on the bench or get rid of them because they're suspended now for a little bit. Transfers for Game Week 17. Main issue was Erling Haaland. We know that he's got a stress fracture. There's been no confirmation on how long he's going to be out for. Pep's not really giving anything away either. I do think he'll miss the Palace game. They then have a blank and then they have Everton. He may be back for Everton, but I'm not so sure. So with that in mind, I took a little while on the decision whether to keep him or get rid of him. Or you could bench him, but I sold him in the end. He's a lot of money. He has been injured a few times now in the season, and it's not allowed me a lot of freedom in terms of getting midfielders in that I'd like, the likes of a Salah or a Son. So for me, I've had him since the start of the season. He's done me well on certain weeks, other weeks not so much. It's not been as fruitful as last season, but he has done me well the majority of the time. But I've said goodbye to him now, at least for now anyway, and I've got rid of him, and I've brung in Dominic Solanke, because I think Solanke for 6.6, it's not the cheapest, but it's not the worst either. I think for what he offers, it's still, I think he's undervalued, to be honest. I think he should be at least 7 million. So 6.6, I was happy to get that, and obviously it saved me a lot of money in my team as well, to then in future game weeks go for someone like a Salah or a Son if I need to, bearing in mind that they have got the Asia Cup and the African Cup of Nations coming up. So I've got to be careful with how I manage it, but I could either get one of them two in for a couple of weeks at least before they go off. So I've done it with that in mind as well. It offers up to it gives me more wriggle room and freedom in terms of my overall team, getting rid of Haaland because of his price. So Haaland is out, and I brought in Solanke. Intention of bringing in Son or Salah probably. So as you can see, for my team, I've gone with Neto this week in goal. They're at home against Luton, and I fancy Bournemouth for that. Luton can make it tricky, but I fancy Bournemouth to get the 3 points. Ben White, I've gone with 3 at the back. I've gone Ben White at home to Brighton, Tsimikas at home to Manchester United, and Anderson away to Man City, which is a dodgy one, but it was either that or Matty Cash, who's on my bench, and I don't think Cash necessarily starts. So it's either get a 0-pointer, potentially, or risk it and hope Anderson at least gets me a 2 or 3 points. So I've gone with Anderson, even though they have got a City away. 4 in the midfield, I've gone with Foden at home to Palace, Cole Palmer at home to Sheffield United, which could be a bit of a differential in terms of a captaincy, but it's tricky with Chelsea players to know what to do. John McGinn away to Brentford, Bukayo Saka at home to Brighton. I've gone Darwin Nunez, Ollie Watkins and Dominic Solanke. Captaincy, I'm putting on Bukayo Saka. I fancy them against Brighton at home. And then I've gone vice, I've gone with Solanke because I think against Luton he could get a couple of goals at minimum. So that is my starting 11, 3-4-3. And then on the bench I've gone with Flecken. First sub, Hwang Hee-chan. Second, Matty Cash. And then I've put Trippier third sub, because I don't want to get rid of him yet, even though he hasn't had a great time of it in the last few games. I still think he's an asset going forward, but obviously suspended now, so he can't play. Hence why he's in my last place for the subs bench. I'm looking to do anything better than 26 points this game week coming up. Obviously, I want to be hitting at least 40 to 45, if not higher. I'd like to be getting 50s or above, obviously. But anything above 26 to outdo last week. I'm always just trying to do better than I did last week. Yes, it's nice to climb up the ranks a lot, but I'm not in the top whatever like a lot of FPL people are. I'm still getting better at the game. Had a horrid time last week, but I expect to do a lot better this game week coming up, and I'm confident with my team on the whole, and I'm excited going forward now because I've got more freedom as well, as I said, with money and budget wise to use for the likes of a Salah or a Son, and I've got all of my cards to play as well. I've not used my bench boost, I've not used my triple captain, my free hit or my wild card. Obviously the wild card deadline is for game week, what is it, game week 20 I believe. We're on game week 17, so I'm going to have to use it in the next few game weeks. I just got to decide when, but that's the bonus of not using it so far. I've still got that freedom for that as well. A lot of tactics that I can go with at the moment, and it leaves me in good stead, I think, going forward. So, hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, what your team's looking like, how you done last week, and what your team's looking like this week. Are you confident? Are you not? And I'll see you soon.